Ever get that feeling, that all the constant noise around us, the phones, the news, just life,
Hmm.
maybe it's actually stopping us from finding something important inside?
It's a really interesting question to start with. It really captures what we're looking into today. We're doing a deep dive into Napoleon Hill's ideas,
From one of his speeches, right?
exactly, from a speech transcript.
Hmm.
And he has this, well, surprising take on how we achieve what we want.
Surprising is definitely the word. I mean, we're always told to hustle, right? Keep moving. But Hill suggests maybe the real power is in silence, in looking inward.
hmm And that's the core of it.
Yeah.
This transcript we're using, it really challenges that idea of just constant external action being the only path.
So it's not saying don't work hard.
Not at all. It's more about effectiveness. That focused intention, the kind that comes from real inner clarity, might be stronger than just, being busy all the time.
Okay, so this dive is about seeing if quieting things down outside and inside can actually help you, the listener, unlock what you're after, maybe get a new perspective.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Maybe you find those answers you've been looking for are, well, closer than you think.
All right, let's get into it. First big point, the power of silence. Hill actually says something like, God or the divine force wants you to stop talking. That sounds pretty direct.
It does, but it's likely not meant literally like never speak again. It's more about quieting the mind.
Ah, the internal chatter.
Exactly. That constant wishing, hoping, planning out loud in your head. Plus, you add in all the modern stuff, social media, news feeds.
Oh, yeah, constant bombardment.
Mm-hmm. And Hill's point is that all this noise, inside and out, it just clouds things up. It makes it hard to focus, hard to get clear.
And he believed it actually blocks something, like guidance.
Yeah, he called it divine guidance sometimes, or maybe inner intuition. The idea is that true understanding, the real path to what you want, isn't found by shouting louder or doing more. It's found by listening, really listening.
Listening to what, though?
To life, maybe, to that quiet voice inside. The stuff you only hear when things are still, he put it quite starkly, actually.
What did he say?
Something like, God, his infinite wisdom, knows that silence is the key to clarity. It really shows how crucial he thought that quiet mental space was.
Okay, so creating that quiet space is step one. And then it matters what you put in that space. Which brings us to the next idea, the primacy of thought.
Right. Hill really emphasized this. Every single thing, inventions, companies, successes, even failures, it all starts as just a thought.
He contrasts that with just doing stuff,
Right.
right? Action without purpose.
Exactly. There's a huge difference between aimless activity and the power of thought that has real intention, real purpose behind it.
But we're so conditioned to just keep pushing, aren't we? Work more, talk more, just go, go, go.
We really are. Work endlessly, speak endlessly, push relentlessly. That's the message we often get.
Right.
But Hill flips it. He suggests sometimes the best course of action is to simply be still and think.
Just think.
Yeah. He talks about this voice within or inner knowing because it's incredibly powerful, much more so than external pressures. But
But it gets drowned out by all the noise we were just talking about.
precisely. The chatter, the distractions, they just overwhelm it.
Makes sense. If you can't hear the instructions, running faster doesn't help. So how does this stillness connect to what Hill called divine guidance and whispers?
Well, the key word there is whispers. Hill believed that the really important stuff, your deep desires, your actual purpose, it doesn't scream at you.
It whispers, so you need quiet to hear it.
Exactly. Like trying to hear a tiny sound in a noisy room. You have to cut the noise, both the external stuff and your own mental rambling.
And when you do that,
You become more attuned. You can actually hear those whispers, understand your purpose better, and maybe spot the right opportunities, the ones really meant for you.
so it's not just about feeling calm, it actually changes how you see things, how you navigate the world.
Absolutely. He even said something like, the world doesn't change until you change how you see it. And that shift, it comes from inner silence.
Interesting. Okay, moving on to faith. Hill talks about it as quiet trust, not loud declaration. That sounds different from how some people talk about faith.
It is quite different. He saw faith as, well, the catalyst, the thing that turns desire into reality. But he specifically contrasted loud, maybe showy faith with this.
This quiet kind.
Yeah, a quiet, calm, unwavering faith that grows when you trust in the process of life. It's less about performance, more about deep internal conviction.
So not about telling everyone how faithful you are.
More about genuinely trusting your inner voice, believing your goals will happen, and having confidence that you'll know the right steps to take at the right time.
He linked this to anxiety too, didn't he?
He did. A powerful quote. God doesn't want you to be anxious or to constantly speak and ask for things. God wants you to trust in your inner voice.
So less pleading, more knowing.
Exactly. It's about trusting the unseen, believing things are aligning for you, even if it doesn't look like it right now.
Which ties into the next idea, thoughtful inaction and mental discipline. So this silence isn't just laziness.
Not at all. He called it thoughtful, focused inaction. It's about deliberately making space, clearing the mental decks, so to speak.
Why? To let something else come through.
Kind of. To access what he called your high self, your wisest, most intuitive part, and that divine guidance. It's creating room for clarity.
A deliberate pause. I like that.
And he connects it directly to discipline, mental discipline. He basically said, success is a matter of mental discipline, and thoughts are the bedrock of reality.
So silencing the mind isn't no thought, it's better thought.
Sharper, more focused thoughts. Thoughts aligned with what you truly want, not just random mental noise.
Okay, and this connects to something many people have heard of, the law of attraction. How does silence fit in there?
Well, the basic idea of the law of attraction is like attracts like. Your thoughts, your feelings, they send out vibrations and attract similar experiences. But, and this is key for Hill.
You can't attract good stuff with a chaotic mind.
Exactly. A cluttered, anxious mind isn't going to attract positive outcomes, according to this view. The law of attraction needs focus.
And focus needs silence.
Inner silence allows you to consciously direct your thoughts and feelings towards the positive abundance, success, gratitude, whatever it is. That's how you activate the law in your favor.
So it's thought, focus, faith, and silence. Not just endless hustle.
That's the formula he presents. The power comes from that internal alignment, achieved through quiet contemplation.
You know, this idea of finding wisdom in quiet is really hitting home. And if you listening right now are finding this deep dive into Napoleon Hill valuable, if these ideas resonate, maybe consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. We explore more concepts like this there.
Good point. And that actually leads perfectly into our final theme, returning to stillness and inner wisdom. It loops back to where true insight comes from.
Which often isn't the busy outside world.
Right. Hill really believed genuine wisdom, real clarity, bubbles up in those quiet moments, not when we're constantly reacting to external things.
It's like stillness lets you reconnect with something deeper.
Yeah, that inner knowing that gets buried under everyday stress and worry. Quieting the mind helps strip away the noise, the non-essentials.
Leading to better judgment, a clearer sense of what you actually want.
Exactly. And understanding the best way to get there. Hill felt the answers are usually already inside you.
But you need the quiet to hear them, instead of always searching outside.
Constantly looking externally can be a distraction. Stillness helps you find them within.
And does this impact actual choices, decision-making?
Absolutely. When you're less driven by fear or confusion, which often thrives in noise, you make better decisions. You gain perspective.
See the bigger picture.
Precisely. So for Hill, real success isn't separate from this inner state. It's tied to inner stillness, trusting those answers within and actually listening for them.
Okay, so let's quickly recap the main takeaways from Hill's speech. There's the power of silence for clarity.
The absolute importance of thought is the starting point for everything.
Right, and that quiet, trusting faith, not loud pronouncements.
The need for mental discipline to harness those thoughts.
And how stillness is the key to unlocking inner wisdom and making things like the law of attraction work for you.
You got it. It's about making sure your actions come from a place of focused thought and inner guidance found in that quiet space.
So for you listening, maybe think about finding just a few minutes of quiet each day. See what happens when the noise dies down, both outside and inside.
You might be surprised what becomes clear.
Which leaves us with a final thought for you to ponder. What could actually become possible for you if you really leaned into the power of your own inner silence? If you started truly trusting the wisdom you find there?
Yeah, maybe the most productive thing you can do today is just be still and listen.